vacuum. Now, I really like the vacuum. It's powerful, convenient, and comfortable to use. Now, I think this is also significantly more powerful than the hand vacuums from decades ago. I was really impressed with its ability to pull in air and items from the end. It's cordless, so you can easily take it wherever you need to go, and the battery lasts a while too. So the first time I charged this, it lasted 5 months and was still going on the initial charge, and still had plenty of suction on it. So it's not one of those batteries that seems to wind down after a week from being off the base. And I was really impressed with that it lasted a while, so I didn't have to constantly charge it. Now, the charging is incredibly easy. It just slips onto the base really easily. Plug it into any outlet, and it locks on so that you could mount this on a wall if you so chose, and it would hang on right here. They give you mounting screws in the center hole there. I personally prefer to just leave this in a closet and only pull it out when it needs to be charged. So I just leave this out rather than leaving it charging all the time. Now, whether you want to leave it charging all the time is up to your preference. With the cordless battery on it, any rechargeable battery, you'll do better in the long haul if you don't constantly charge it. Maybe in the first year it's smart enough to not constantly charge, but as the battery gets weaker, as with cordless phones and other things, you'll find that you may choose to limit the number of charges, because you only get so many charges out of a battery. But so I prefer to just leave this around. And so the features of the hand vacuum has these little nubs on the end, and that's nice so that if you have something that's laying a little too flat, you can kind of prod at it and it'll pick it up as you swipe, especially on fabric, right? And so that's why this is the pet hair eraser vacuum, is that this can help dislodge and pull up hair that may have otherwise been a little bit stuck on or attached to fabric. And then it winds, so it comes into the vacuum and goes out through this rubber flap right there. And then it just spins around this compartment, and here is your air filter that things will ultimately be stopping at. And then a rather powerful amount of air comes out of the right side of this vacuum, so just be aware of that. So for example, that's how we can see it work. And so once you're done, to empty it, all you have to do is press this button, and it's on a slight little, here's a little attachment down here, so all you basically do is press the button and then rock it back, and it comes right off, as you can see. It's even easier with two hands. To clean it, you just pull out this center compartment, and I would recommend taking a Kleenex and just running around this gently really quickly, as you don't want to leave any lint on here to give you maximum airflow. And then you just dump this compartment into a trash bin. To put it back on, you just have to be aware of the little latch down there and align that with the latch there. See if I can do this with one hand. Bear with me for a second. Oh, and I'm on. Okay. And we're off and running. It's much easier with two hands. And let's go look at an example of the comfort that it has and the power. So let's give you a quick little preview of the power. So you can tell when you put your hand, I don't know if it came out in the audio here, that you get some significant suction through the end. It has a rubber grip here, which I find adds some comfort, so it sits comfortably in my hand. Now, it's kind of heavy, right? It's not too heavy, but it's not light, so make no mistake. So as I'm holding with my arm extended, it definitely has some weight to it. So how do you use it? You're not going to really want to sit here and do a whole shell fit with your arm extended. So what you do is, I'll stand up, let it drop to your side, as so here. So, it's really comfortable. I'm not really taking any weight on my body because it's just pulling straight down against gravity. And I'm letting it hang onto the handle like we see there, and being a plastic grip, it's rather nice. So what I like to do is just walk around the house and look for items that need to be cleaned. So for example, I spy some debris on the carpet that I want to go clean. So it's really easy to just stoop quickly and then continue walking around the house to go pick up some additional items. So the key I find for ergonomics isn't to just walk around with this thing extended the whole time. It's to let it sit by your side, stoop down, and so on. So if I need to walk around and pick up the house before we have, let's say, guests come over, I find it's much easier to just be able to run around really quickly and pick up items so I don't have to bend down. Because what's the alternative, right? The alternative was bend all the way down, try to pick it up, go ahead and pick up the items, and then tuck them out by hand. Obviously, if you're going to run across fabric, that's a whole different story. But maybe not for extended cleaning, right? So it's not a replacement for a vacuum cleaner, where you'll want to use plastic attachments and they'll be easier to work with. Like if you're going to run up and down stairs at some point, maybe you're going to want to switch and use a real vacuum. But I find it very powerful. Did a good job picking up the items off the floor. I don't know if you can see the little white things are what I just picked up right now off the floor. They're just little pieces of paper. So I really like it. I think it does a nice job. Hopefully it works for you. Thank you for watching the review.